Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Unique and Fresh with Jeffrey. I'm super excited to welcome my next guest, Kaylin with Beck&Call Hospitality. I was introduced to Kaylin through another connection of mine, and her story is just amazing and interesting, and what she's trying to create I think is so important and fantastic, especially as a 26-year hospitality professional. It's just fantastic. So Kaylin, welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. So tell us about Beck&Call Hospitality, what it is, where it came from, just everything.
Yeah, so, well, I started off in the hospitality industry similar to you. Yeah. I went to University of Houston for hotel and restaurant management. I did finish in 2014, and my emphasis was events and catering. So have a lot of events experience, restaurant experience. I worked for the Papa's chain for about 3-4 years.
Okay.
So while I was in school, I always had a dream of opening up a bed and breakfast or a boutique hotel in my community because I felt like that is what was missing.
And when you say in your community, you mean for the African American community?
Yes. So I was born and raised in the southeast area of Houston, South Park area, and Third Ward is where I went to high school.
Okay.
And in a lot of other communities, they have a safe space for people to come travel and indulge in the culture of that community, but I feel like that's lacking in the Third Ward community. So that's what I really saw that was missing, and I was like, okay, well, how am I going to get there? They don't really talk about hotel ownership in school. They just talk about working your way up to manage a hotel or a restaurant. Mm-hmm. So I went to grad school and I worked on my business plan, and when I came back, I just full force, and now we've started Beck&Call Hospitality. It's a play on words because my last name is Beck. Mm-hmm. So we're at your beck and call. But right now we're focusing on branding and getting our name out there, and we're hosting events and just getting people to know who we are.
Sure, and what you're also doing, because you don't actually have a location yet, a bed and breakfast home, if you will.
Correct.
But what you're doing is you're doing fundraising, if you will, to get this started, which is why I find it so important that we tell your story, because I think something like this is so important for the Black and African American community to make sure, you know, obviously everybody travels, but there's never been anything like this before, dedicated to the Black and African community, so African American community. So where you want to do this is within the Third Ward? Is that where you want to do it, correct?
That is the goal. Of course, I'm trying
to stop getting so gosh darn expensive, right?
That's the goal. If you know, everything in that area is so expensive now because of gentrification, because of everybody wanting to move back into the inner city. And that's another reason why I feel like it's needed, because everybody does want to be in the middle of everything sometimes. But also I am thinking of other options, just trying to stay open, because it's hard, you know, being a business owner, you're tunnel vision and you see something you want, but then it's like, okay, it might be better if we're, you know, in this area or, you know, on the outskirts. So
and tunnel vision can get to us as entrepreneurs, as myself as an entrepreneur too. I have these ideas, and over these past 3 years, as I've been flexing my entrepreneurial muscle, if you will, I've realized, gosh, Jeffrey, don't pigeonhole yourself into one. It's so hard because you have this vision. But this vision can still come to reality.
Correct.
Because I think we had this conversation already. Yes, you want to have this safe space, if you will, for the Black and African American community, but you can still have this dedicated safe space for the Black and African American traveler, but you can still do it in the countryside.
You can.
Because no matter what community you're from, you want a countryside vacation, you want an inner city vacation, you want a ocean water vacation, you know, all these kinds of things.
And we would love to be in other cities as well.
Of course.
So of course I want to be in New Orleans.
Hello, I do too. I just want some food.
Of course I want to be in Miami, you know, those southern states that a lot of people like to travel to. So, but of course I got to get one first, and then we can expand and grow.
Of course, and Exactly. You have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And it may, and Kaylin and I had this conversation because we've talked on the phone prior to this, where you start maybe somewhere that's a little less expensive.
Yes.
Build up that business, build up that revenue, build up the popularity.
Right.
And I'm sure with this and with the amount of amazing successful black entrepreneurs that are out there in the world making money, they'll be like, ooh, she had a great idea. Let's invest in her. And then you can kind of keep growing and expanding. And hopefully even before that, all you wealthy black entrepreneurs and business owners out there, invest in this young lady. Right?
Please.
Exactly.
Please. But yeah, we just wrapped up a crowdfunding campaign. We raised $11,000. We raised $11,000. We teamed up with iFund Women, which is a popular
There you go, another avenue. Women,
for women who own businesses, but also we're looking to go into our next phase, which is seeking investors. So yes, to your point,
invest in it. So tell us a little bit about the concept, if you will, because I know we're talking about what you're trying to create as far as a safe haven for the Black and African American community. But what exactly is the idea, the theme? Besides that, there's a theme to what you want to create.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when they think bed and breakfast, they think like old, vintage, antique, but we want to do more. We want to do like the modern cultural side of things. So we would like to provide a thing that sets us apart. Is we want to offer events to guests that are staying with us as well, so that they don't have to venture, too far out, of the community to get what they need. So collaborating with tour companies, we did do a Black History tour. Doing things like that, hosting wine tastings on site so that people don't have to leave. Another thing that I really want to stick to is working with an interior designer to have themed rooms. And so offering that kind of luxury interior decor feel for guests coming to stay with us.
But where you could also feature African American artists. I was just going to say, you have to. I mean, that's
and the space serving as a venue as well for people who want to maybe do a pop-up for their business, or maybe have a pop-up for their art, to showcase, or a book signing. So different things like that.
Absolutely. So are you looking for a space that would that would have, besides the bed and breakfast part, but actually can do like an event, even if it's on a smaller scale, because bed and breakfasts are smaller, obviously, but maybe like a 20 to 30 person kind of event.
More intimate size events. Yes.
Gotcha. And I think another thing that would be a great thing, by the way, all you sports folks out there, when I say sports folks, I mean all you athletes out there. It's a place that where you could support a Black-owned business and also have a little more privacy, right? Because this is another thing we kind of talked about before. Is to just have a space, because when you're an athlete or an actor or just somebody who's a little bit more famous than us per se, is a place where you can go and not be in a big hotel, if you will.
And you have to worry about
privacy, exactly, where you have those 3 to 4 or 5, or I know you talked about even up to like a 10-room kind of place, but you can kind of buy the whole thing out if you have the money. If you want to, please do. That you can buy it out. And be supporting a Black-owned business, but it's also just supporting a small business and privacy and quiet and so forth, where the media hopefully will not hound you as much so forth.
Yes, we do want to offer that kind of like intimate home feel for a lot of the guests that are staying there.
Okay, excellent. So Kaylin, I'm so glad that you came on the show today and you got to tell everybody about your project. Please let everybody know about how they can reach you, your social media handle, your website, phone number, whatever you'd like to share.
Yes. So you can find us. Our website is www.yourbeckandcall.co. We are on Instagram at Beck&Call Hospitality. We're also on TikTok at Beck&Call Hospitality. We have a YouTube channel as well. So I can also be reached at 832-466-9382.
Awesome. Well, Kaylin, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
And everybody, thank you so much for joining us here at Unique and Fresh with Jeffery today. Remember to spread love and positivity, and please make sure that you're doing good out there in the world and help those in need. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
This has been a Now Media Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.